So the poem is called Stepping Out 2. Stepping Out 1 was a beast of an entirely different character. It involved the Queen of Carthage, before Rome conquered Carthage. Somebody who I sometimes think in a previous life I was her lover. The ambient sounds that you hear would be city traffic on interstates, possibly neighbors on a Saturday night, and with any hope, a train whistle, which kind of seems appropriate to my poem. Stepping Out 2. I'm walking streets again, the nighttime streets of a city, in the way I walked them before I knew young life could ever hatch out the mistakes, or that dead ends and detours have the knack for bringing you back to nighttime rounds first set on spin. And the years must be older if the contrast concludes the sense. So long as I could say, no wrong turns were taken, no first promises forsaken, no springtime presses turned sour, no sweet summers suffered to walk unwanted into cold autumn shower. So long as these fingers could worry the shiny dime story, then I could sign my name, yours forever, truly young. It's these streets again, and walking under neon lights of a seaside city, walking in time to a rock and roll heart, when tonight the heart goes hurting. And when I'm kind of wishing it would wrap itself instead inside the draperies of some school of conceit, like maybe in Poets' Company, or other dark and shadow dreamers who followed similar streams of asphalt or brick, who have gone the way looking for parallel, even outlawed roads to more natural destinations. History manuals have them by name, if no one else seems to, or not at here at least, where the knowing becomes too intimate, even smacking of authenticity, not to mention a certain amount of soulful duplicity. And there is no real need to ask after these light and shadow lovers, since they are here beside me on another narrowing street, egging me to join their company in the low amber light of another bar. The wandering Goliards and terrible Vians, the moon-thirsty Baudelaires, the more modern Apollinaires, those outrageously Christ-like livers of love and good times, with outraged livers pickled in wine, who've laughed at the masses from their crosses of pain, while crying in rivers over sweet sheets kept dangling before the Seine. And it's done no good to tell them, as we step deeper into the town, they've made a mistake in tracking me down. I'm terribly sorry, gentlemen, but you've cornered the wrong clown. This generation, you see, has had its complements of Christ types, of equal opportunity moth flights, of Morrisons, Joplins, and Hendrickses, and of kings never just left alone to leave the stage with grace. It's done no good to tell them these things as we keep our conversations out on the streets again, the nighttime streets where first we met not all that long ago. And they've never actually listened as I've tried to show them how stupid are propositions of either or conditions, or how tragedy by any name, be it Hegelian, Grecian, star-stricken, even for the sake of richer republicans, is still like putting boys in a jungle to fight a father's battles. It's as if they know it all by heart, and they'd rather try to surprise some lovely long-tailed cuckoo from behind a blind. They've just smiled drunkenly, pulled closer on the cloak of poetry, and steered us inside another rock and roll bar. It admittedly hurts my case to be seen with them on the streets again, and even when we're leaving, the deep dancing and deeper thinking, they doggedly lead the way as we're reeling for the door. And while walking along the bayfront wall, made to slake the towny fear of water, or when crossing the bridge that spans the cocaine hour before the dawn, or even when we've turned back down this narrowest street like the cold and cutting sheets turned down at home, it becomes clear to see they've kept with me inside the years, and that what at first had seemed like a passing conceit is the earnest game instead still played for keeps. And I don't really mind these streets, these nighttime streets of another steamy city, where fast cars speed to desperate destinations, where street people sleep beneath newspaper habitations, where businessmen waddle like geese from pond to pond, where parks are haunted by lonely men fawns hunting spectrals of other lonely men, and where budding young girls carefully lay on their charms to carelessly make themselves more moon in face than they are. It isn't that I mind these streets, walking down these streets with neon shoulders bruised and bare, except for the indigo lady I've met, in whose rainbow garden a dreamer could till in dreams back under. All right.